to understand many aspects of Ansata conduct. Much of their behavioral norm would be defined by my program as unnecessary and unacceptable.
By my program as well, Data.
But if that is so, Captain, why are their methods so often successful? I've been reviewing the history of armed rebellion, and it appears that terrorism is an effective way to promote political change.
Yes, it can be, but I have never subscribed to the theory that political power flows from the barrel of a gun.
Yet there are numerous examples when it was successful. The independence of the Mexican state from Spain, the Irish unification of 2024, and the Kenzie Rebellion.
Yes, I'm aware of them.
Then would it be accurate to say that terrorism is acceptable when all options for peaceful settlement have been foreclosed?
Data, these are questions that mankind has been struggling with throughout history. Your confusion is only human.
Terrorism as a viable option. Hey guys, Total Control 871. That's a particular clip that I've been meaning to share with you guys for quite some time. I forget if it was either Roddenberry himself or Rick Berman who took over after his passing. I forget which of them was it, but ultimately that is deleted or banned footage from the particular episode in question for fear that it was considered too racy and to give validity to terrorism. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about our slew of mass shooters. Well, I don't really know if they'd be called mass shooters. I mean, how many people have to be shot and killed before it is considered a mass shooting? But first we're going to be talking about Corey Ali Muhammad. I will agree that from the snippets that we've seen from his social media profile, he does look somewhat unstable and unhinged. However, those are just snippets. On the editing table, you can make anything look as good or as bad as you want. Terrorism as an effective tool to promote political change. I think last year sometime, in the wake of the Dallas sniper shooting, I put out a video reminding everyone that basically don't push the police too far. I guess today would be the counter argument to my own video. Don't push we citizens too far. I say that to all the authority out there, as you are reveling in your power. The power that you see as being a tool for keeping people safe, and you do this by taking away rights. Corey Ali Muhammad. I really don't know too much about his political ideology. I don't know about the man's life. Maybe this is something that is deliberate by media. Presumably, the person is Muslim, so you can rest assured that, yeah, the Jewish media, mainstream and independent, aren't exactly going to be doing this guy any kind of favors by putting his story out there, putting his message out there, you know, his reasons for doing what he's doing. This media also wants to be able to preserve its relationship with police local police, federal authorities, and of course by doing, by keeping a person's message quelled, sequestered, they maintain that relationship. I'm not saying that Muhammad was correct in his actions. And by the way, I'm not exactly saying that terrorism should be used to promote change. That's one of the great things about Star Trek. Roddenberry, he left a lot of things out there for we the people to decide for ourselves.
What?
So, terrorism to effect change. What was I thinking about earlier today? The founding fathers, yeah. When we broke away from the royal crown, I've been thinking about that actually for some time now, for the past couple of years. How America was founded. Now, whose money, whose resources? It all came from England now, and where I was staying on the farm, there was a construction owner, a guy who owns a construction company, and one of his workers, his charged task, his job was to cultivate the land and to keep everything straight in order, construction equipment, stuff like that. Very, very hard worker. Matter of fact, he worked a little bit too hard. He ended up having a stroke. God bless his heart. But my point is this. What if he were to stage some kind of an armed rebellion against the owner of the construction company? I think that these construction vehicles should be mine. I've been putting my heart and soul into their care, their upkeep, their organization. I dispatch, I move them logistically to various construction sites. I've been busting my ass. I don't think I'm getting a fair deal. You know what? All of this is now mine. Tell me that wouldn't be like a, massive theft. However, that's exactly what happened. The founding colonies, they came over here with England's money, okay, their resources, the ships, wealthy British investors. If it wasn't the royal crown himself, then it was wealthy investors who wanted to, what riches were in the new land, that sort of thing. And of course, they ended up getting screwed out of that. The entire continent of North America, they got screwed out of. Put a whole pin in the whole Native American thing. That's a whole different argument. So yeah, and of course, the fight for independence, was that terrorism? It was an armed rebellion. So history gets to determine who's a terrorist and who is not. Were your efforts noble? So how close were we to being, had we have lost the fight for independence, would the founding fathers have gone down as a radical band of terrorists, enemies of the crown, tried and executed? So yeah, I like I said, I know nothing about Muhammad's ideology, his agenda, and that might be very deliberate on behalf of the media. They always like to call the manifestos as rants. We found a manifesto, a rant of him going on and on about, they said the same thing about the Dallas shooter. So they definitely spin it as, you are completely crazy, whatever it is that your argument is, because you have used terrorism to bring attention to it, you are therefore automatically, wrong, automatically crazy. Not saying that they're not crazy. Dude very well may have indeed been mentally unhinged. What is it? The Philadelphia police officer Jesse Harnett, whatever. What was it? The guy, I forget his name, Arrow something. He unloaded on the cop. We have terrorists in Paris unloading on cops. That really broke my heart about the Champs-Élysées. You know, obviously the tour ends. The tour ends in the Champs-Élysées every year. I've got a lot of fear about, you know, not only the Tour de France, but all of the grand tours, you know. Anyway, so that's just my thoughts on Corey Ali Muhammad. Obviously, I can't really say too much because I don't know that much about the person, you know. So, terrorism to effect change, right or wrong? I don't know. I guess maybe it's more primordial, you know. How bad have you been pushed? You know, have you tried, you know. And then there is the whole scenario of power. Do you really think we would even be tolerating a modicum of Kim Jong-un's psycho shit if he wasn't nuclear capable? You know, same thing with Russia, you know. When your shit is nuclear, you will be respected. You know, you are given a seat at the big table. Were ISIS or whomever else to become nuclear, guess what? They're not going to be called terrorists anymore. They'll just give them a brand new title, brand new name, and call them a new nation formed, and give them a seat at the UN. Anyway, alright, I'm going to move on now to Steve Stevens. Steve Stevens. Oh, wow. I think, dude, his is insanity. He obviously had an addiction, gambling, although the gambling might not necessarily have been his addiction. If he got involved with a woman, then women throughout history have been the downfall of a lot of men. Maybe it was the woman that had the addiction. Maybe it was she who coerced him into the gambling sprees or whatever. Again, we don't really know enough. And again, why are these details being withheld from us? You know, they always say, oh, well, the investigation is ongoing, the investigation is pending. Well, you know, there's been a lot of concluded investigations. You know, do we ever end up hearing the details? What about the Dallas shooter? We never really heard any details on him. We don't really necessarily have any details on Dylan Roof, the AME mass shooter. It's like you're terrified to give these people a platform. I can't help but wonder, is it because of the feeble-mindedness of the population? What has given rise to the docile nature of the population? Has the government cultivated this? Everybody's got a fucking glass jaw now. Everybody needs a fucking emotional needs animal to keep themselves stabilized, you know. You know, it used to be little dogs for, you know, it used to be something that rich people had. Now all of a sudden it's everybody. That, you know, what's going on with the world's population that all of a sudden everybody needs animals to be emotionally stabilized? Record consumption of mood-altering prescription drugs MAOI inhibitors, antidepressants, antipsychotics, you know. Right now the government I think the whole recreational marijuana thing, it is one big massive ass experiment. The federal government's just standing back. They want to know exactly how. They know marijuana makes you stupid. Okay, I know there's arguments out there. Oh, it helps me focus. It helps me think. You know. And then there's a whole nother argument as to, you know, why would you want something? Why would you want your mind to be dependent? If indeed that was true, I'm not saying it is or isn't, but why would you want this substance? The sharpness of your mind, your mental acuity. Why would you make that dependent on a substance? You know? But, you know, it's like, oh, you know, the governments, they want to know. They know marijuana makes everybody stupid. You know, all these stupid crimes you hear about. You know, I got so high I called 911. This is all marijuana. These, you know, if there's anything I'll say about heroin junkies, they are at least innovative people. You know, it is a sickness that drives them to be innovative and to be, you know, they'll come up with some pretty incredible shit to get their next high. But yeah, marijuana, meth, all stupid drugs. They make you stupid. And the government wants to know exactly the extent of this. They would very much indeed like to have a nation that is bombed out of its mind. You know, but then again, they also want to know, you know, how bad will this affect us productivity-wise? Everybody can't be bombed out of their mind, you know. Somebody's got to be left to do the work. So it's a big experiment right now, you know. They don't really know where they want to go with this whole legal marijuana thing. But yeah, they want to keep the masses docile and stupid. So they don't want you questioning things. They don't want you asking the kind of questions that I'm asking. They don't want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you to have those kinds of critical thinking skills. So when these shooters, you know, happen, you know, hopefully, you know, if you're so high, you really don't care if your civil rights are being annihilated, you know. Alright guys, like I say, I'm kind of groggy headed myself. I guess it's my my head cold or whatever. So that's what's going on. Just here at the old McDonald's. Charging up. I've got about 9 of these little darlings. Got some more in here. They all are just I got these to well, like I say, you know, I'll be in the I'm moving out of the apartment back into the woods, and the power bricks, they help me stay out of depressing places like this. So, you know, I'm hoping that I don't know what's going to happen in the future here. I don't know what's going to happen in the future here. My own future seems very bleak. And there you go, you know. I don't exactly know where I want to do it. There are so many that are guilty. You know, Egg Harbor Township Police Station. I briefly considered Jewish Family Services as the suicide site, but you know, they're just like the last end note of all of this. You know, straw that broke They may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but they're not the bulk of the problem. They really are not. They did a lot of damage to me psychologically. There's more about how their case in Superior Court is affecting things that are happening right now, but I'll talk about that in the Sober Suicide blog. But I don't know. I'm thinking about doing it, you know, at the electric company. The unlawful termination that definitely started all of this. You know, then there's Egg Harbor Township Police Station. You know, I got some paracord and a bungee cord. I'm pretty sure I think I'll be going with hanging myself. I don't want to do it, but I just don't see a way out. Alright guys, obviously there's a shitload of depression, and I don't know. Total Control 871.